Today I want to talk about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Early box office projections are in, and it looks like it is due to make round about $60 million on its opening weekend. Now, this is not what Disney will be wanting for this film. The movie itself cost nearly $300 million, which is an outrageous amount to spend on an Indiana Jones movie. And tracking at $60 million is absolutely abysmal for Disney. If this box office prediction is true and it just earned around about $60 million, then this movie is going to be a huge flop. I mean, I've no doubt that it will flop at the movies. The movies, what is it, 1930? It will flop at the cinema because it's not a film that anybody wanted. We got The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and that wasn't a great Indiana Jones movie. And after that one, nobody wanted any more. After we got that one, nobody really wanted it in the first place. So Disney and Lucasfilm deciding, yeah, we can get one more movie out of this. It'll be great, people will pay to see it. And judging by the box office predictions, no they won't. No one's going to see this. I grew up watching Indiana Jones movies. I own the first 3 on DVD. They are superb films. They are brilliant. I don't own the 4th one on DVD. There's a reason for that. And I don't think I'll ever watch this one because I've just no interest in it at all. At the point when this movie was made, Harrison Ford was 78. So he's almost 80-year-old. He's not in the best shape to be doing this type of movie. And you've got Phoebe Bridge, who is just insufferable and seems to destroy anything she's in. Just look at No Time to Die. That has essentially killed off the James Bond franchise. I know they are making new films, but I don't think anyone cares about them anymore. Again, No Time to Die is a movie I've not seen and have no intention of seeing. But back to Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny to ring up around 60 million opening. Here's why. Early box office outlook. And like I say, 60 million box office opening is not great for a film that cost nearly 300 million to make. In a wake of world premiering in Cannes to a lacklustre film reviews at 50% rotten, Disney, Lucasfilm's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is currently looking at a 60 million plus domestic opening. The movie opens on June 30th, heading into what is conceivably a 5-day play period given that Independence Day falls on a Tuesday. So if that's a 60 million domestic for 5 days, holy hell, that is horrific. That's like 12 million a day. I thought it was bad when I thought it was 60 million over 3 days. But 5 days? Jesus. That just goes to show you how little people want this movie. Dial of Destiny's 3-day is down from the 100.1 million 3-day of the last movie's 2008's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And this later sequel reps the finale for the entire franchise. Crystal Skull opened on a Thursday over a Memorial Day weekend, earning in total over 5 days 151.9 million. Logan filmmaker James Mangold took over helming the finale from franchise architect Steven Spielberg. Currently, Dial of Destiny is tracking significantly with older guys over younger, which has many comparing the pick to Daniel Craig's 007 finale, No Time to Die, and 2018's Mission Impossible Fallout. Well, No Time to Die, by all accounts, wasn't a great film, and a spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen the movie but wants to, they killed him off at the end. Just decided to kill James Bond off and they're just going to magically bring him back in the next movie. Because why not? 007 is his code name, James Bond is his actual name. But again, back to this article, it says it is tracking with older guys, and that makes sense. It'll be the people that grew up with the movies in the 80s. So it's going to track with the older people because they're the people who would want to go see it more. The reason I think it is down so much over Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is because people were excited for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It was the first indie film since The Last Crusade, and people wanted to see it. And then it came out and people regretted it. And they're not willing to make that mistake again with this one. Some are saying a 70 million star for Dial of Destiny. That's quite a stretch. Realise that Lion Cage's John Wick Chapter 4 opened to 73.8 with double the tracking metrics of that of Dial of Destiny is showing here. Disney will need to pick up the slack in the coming weeks in their marketing to get more interest from younger guys. Their distraction now being Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in theatres and upcoming Warner Bros. The Flash on June 16th. However, the hard word of mouth out of Cannes is quite the hurdle. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which wasn't beloved by many, settled at 77% certified fresh and a B cinema score, versus the previous 89 installment Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which earned 84% certified fresh from critics and a solid A cinema score. So this here, word of mouth out of Cannes, I think that was a massive mistake by Disney showing this movie at Cannes that early and then lifting the review embargo. So it goes to show that Disney had a lot of faith in this movie, I think, and well, that faith is being sorely misplaced. The critics, which for the most part normally kiss Disney's ass, for the lack of a better phrase to describe it, didn't do it this time. They didn't come to Disney's defence. I've no doubt the media will try and bring up some defence of this movie. They do with everything Disney makes. I don't know what they can try and defend this one over though. They can't go with the racist, sexist, homophobic defence this time because it's being headed up by an old straight right guy. But I've no doubt there will be some form of defence for it. But the tracking for 60 million for potential 5-day opening is a lot worse than I originally imagined when I thought it was 60 million for 3 days. But it does come down to this. It's a film that nobody wants. I don't know anybody who is excited to go see almost 8-year-old Harrison Ford reprising a role of Indiana Jones, which, again, spoiler warning, is a beat down version of himself that's given up. I will guarantee you that the movie is more about Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character than it is about Indiana Jones, because if they are going to continue the franchise in any way, which I'm sure they will because there are rumours of a Disney Plus show, I've no doubt they will try and pass it on to Phoebe Waller-Bridge, because that's just what the world needs. So, with a budget of almost 300 million, it's going to be looking at making back at least 700, 800 million to break even. And with a $60 million opening, that's not going to happen. There is a couple of weeks left before the movie comes out, so this might get adjusted, it might go up, it could go down. But I personally think this movie is going to be DOA. It's not going to go anywhere and it's going to drop off as fast as it comes. But what do you guys think? Do you think they could turn it around and end up being successful? Are you looking forward to go see it? Or are you just going to completely skip it? Do let me know in the comments below. That's all from me. I'll have to make a fresh cup of tea.